Let me share with you yet another innovative way to use user input blocks with a custom user interface to provide highly interactive but also highly educational material. So I'm going to show you now today a mind map generator. Essentially, you provide a topic and a relationship to that topic to focus on, and it will generate a mind map that you can explore in an interactive fashion in a 3D environment. So this is an example of that environment. I just generated this just a moment ago, and allows you to explore this interface. You can rotate this mind map. You can zoom into it. And then you can select one of these options, like these nodes, and then see a description of what this is. So as a mind map would work, here we see like the central theme of this. This central theme, as you could read up here, is Frontier Labs, and focusing on, this is what I specified, global AI labs around the world, focus on major players, differences in strategy, and differences in AI models. So now let us suppose I wanted to search on something, say like I wanted to search on Google. And it highlights all the models that pertain to Google. But suppose I wanted to focus on OpenAI instead, or Anthropic. Then I could select on any one of these nodes. It's focused on this one. And then read about that node. Let's see what other nodes there are here about Anthropic. So there's a legend here at the bottom of this mind map that just shows you this is the central topic. Purple ones are major categories about this. A green one, like we're selecting now, is key concepts, and then supporting details and specific facts. And you can explore this mind map, and it's very interactive and fun to work with, and but also very educational. Let me show you briefly how this works. So here we have a user input block that also has a custom user interface that asks the user what is the topic and then the relationship to that topic to focus on the mind map. Then MindStudio's deep research block, with this information in mind, does deep research, which is also using then current data to run as research for the mind map content. This generate text block then uses develops all this content with the topic, relationship, and the research, and then generates a JSON object that then feeds the user input block following so that it can render the mind map. And that's what we are looking at here. So suppose then that you've generated several of these. You don't need to keep these tabs open so that, obviously it may take you some time to explore these mind maps. You can look at old mind maps that you've developed. So here you can come over to click on this the vertical ellipses here, show history, and then you can see some other mind maps that I've generated here. So I've not renamed this one. So let me show you how to name this. Right click and select rename. And then I'm going to select this to be Frontier AI Labs. And now I can refer back to that. But I've also done mind maps on coffee brewing methods, cat domestication history, and artificial intelligence. So this is a great way, a great learning tool to explore a topic and sort of take a deep dive in an interactive way. That's very useful for education, for your own personal interest, for hobbies, what have you, and get contemporary data as of the time that you build this about that topic. So, like I've been doing with others in this series this week, I'm going to share both the remix link for this agent so that you can start using it right away, but also I'm going to share a separate document of the block of the prompts that I use to generate both this user input block that generates the UI of building this, namely, if I open the published version, this UI, and then provides a navigation for you as an instruction, as well as the user input block that essentially displays the mind map. And you will be able to then, if you want to explore this, build these yourself. I've tested the prompts, especially for this user input mind map prompt, to make sure that you can get close to what I just showed you now with a single shot. Namely, you paste the content that I provide you, and then into an empty user input block, and then one-shot something that comes fairly close to what I'm showing you today, right now. So this is a great way to help you get started in exploring how to design custom user interfaces with the user input block. Also, big news, and not to make it sound secondary, but at the time of this recording, you can also design custom user interfaces for menu blocks. So if I come over here to a menu block, you can design custom user interfaces with the same style of interfacing that is for user input blocks, for generate asset blocks, and for checkpoint blocks using menu blocks. I'm going to show a couple examples in future videos on how you can use that. So I hope that you found this video helpful and informative. Thank you for watching.